Ladies and gentlemen, we are on the cusp of testing out the Nexat. And I wish this JCB had the ability to move these things around. That would be really nice. Because this thing, I'm going to tell you right now, Kyle has been messing around with this, I guess, today. And he texted me just 10 minutes ago. He's like, I've been playing with the Nexat, and man, this thing's a piece of junk. He's like, I can't steer it. There's nowhere to store this stuff. He said the steering and the handling is terrible. You can't fit the stuff in a barn. It's just all kinds of bad. So we'll see. The handling is very awkward. That is for sure. Like this. First of all, I don't know what side I'm supposed to be on for this thing. But secondly, I can't even get to it. I'm assuming studio. That's probably not the right side, right? Let's go to work mode. And yeah, it's not going to fit. Get in there. Dang it. So what do we do? This is a cluster. I can't even get this stuff out. How much is that Nexat in the window? The one that's all tangled up with everything else. Because it's weird. Okay, so back into driving mode. Let's try. Yeah, so just even getting this out of the shop, I can't pick up any of those things because I need this thing in the between. But I can't pick up this thing because that's in the way. Because I bought all these at once. And so now I'm in a pickle. I think, if I'm not mistaken, see, is that that side goes out the back, maybe? Oh, for crying out loud. So already you can see, I don't know. So we're going to have to get Unreal to make this thing load up, because the only way you're going to be able to do this, since they set it at the shop this way, I can't get it. I can't get no machine traction. So we'll get a little shop-wise here. In real life, what would we do? Well, we would attempt to use a forklift to lift this very carefully and move it around, ruining hundreds of thousands of dollars of equipment. I just want you to see the process. I will beat this. I will win. Ugh. So I'm gonna get it from the other side, because if we it seems to not flip me over if I push on it. So let's push. Which side is the side we pick it up from, though? That's the problem. I don't even know which side this hook's on. This side is the hook side, maybe? I don't know. I've never used it. All right, let me see what I can do. So I think to avoid this, what I would do is when I'm purchasing the modules for this, I would purchase the main chunk part first. So in this case, we're buying the harvester stuff. So I'd get the harvesting pack that I have in front of me here, and I would purchase that first, get it loaded onto the Nexat, and then purchase one header at a time, move the headers to the property, and then, yeah, you'd have to do it in a stepped way like that, so that this doesn't happen. My problem is for the demo video, I wanted to get this thing up here and I bought all the parts just to show them together in the yard and for demo, and it's turned into a real disaster already. So we'll get this figured out. All right, so I don't know if it's this side or the other side that I connect to. We're going to try this side first and see what happens. Fingers crossed. Oh, there we go. Attach. There we go. Oh, wow, slick. Okay, so that's the header there. All right, so the next thing we have to do is pick up our header, which is, of course, the second header in because we're doing wheat. I got wheat. I got a field of wheat and a field of canola to harvest. And we'll try to find some corn or sunflower seeds, too, so we can run that header. But let's get this out of here. This is going to be a long video. Get your popcorn. I'm going to go down around this side and pick this up. And Kyle is confirming that you have to have the seed tank attached to use any of the other modules. So you always have to have the seed tank attached, like unless you're doing harvesting. But I kind of figured that was going to be the way it was. You know what? This is going to be easier just to... I'm going to get out of the way here. So we're just going to grab this and move it. Oh boy. I should have left well enough alone. Ugh, crap. That telephone pole. I'm never going to get this connected. Come on. There we go. Awkward. And I want you guys to see all this just because this is kind of what you're going to deal with if you buy one of these. It's awkward. At least the parking lot's big. I can see why farmers are like... So you can fold it up into work mode. Now that's cool. Look at that. Just don't pass under any low bridges. It does fold it down. Ah, okay. Smart. Okay, that's not so bad. All right, let's see if we can make it to our field with this monstrosity. The fields are... let me turn the maps on. I forget how. There we go. 57 and 58. So we're going to hang a Richie and then a Louie. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh. Oh, he took the bank's awning out. Sorry, First Federal. We'll go this way. Oh, the stop sign. Oh. Drive it yourself. You'll see. Because the whole thing swings when you steer. It's very awkward. Don't do that. All right. What the frick was that? Guy obviously had somewhere to be, apparently. All right. I promise you I won't make you go back and forth to the shop with me on all the trips. I just want to try one trip. Oh, God. It just totally oversteers. It's like either... it's awkward. Making sure I'm in the right field. It's going to take me 45 minutes to get across the track, so we got to make sure we're clear. Going the right way? Going the right way. This will work great in Europe, or in England anyway. Not so great here. Really? Houston? Oh. Oh, Lord. All right. No. Don't run the crops over. No. Stop. Oh, this is so bad. Really? Is it this hard in real life? It probably is. All right. Work mode engage. Oh, and Kyle's tested it with the MacDon, and it did not work. So you can't use it with the MacDon. That's kind of lame. And we want this to be in straw swath mode just to see. That's kind of cool. It's kind of a Goonie bird. That's a pretty big swath, though. Why is the front wheel spinning so much? What the heck is that? uh... So once again, I mean, it's doing okay on this field. My bigger issue, or the big issue, is that it's awkward. It really is. It's going to be meant for like really big fields on really big maps. But using it on a small farm is definitely not going to be worth it. Traditional harvester, the MacDon setup, much better. But on a monster farm out in the Midwest, yeah, this could be useful. Oh, what was that? It like goose stepped over itself. That was weird. Whoa! It's gonna tumble down the hill. Oh God! Not so great. Making a real mess. You think the Russians make cool harvesters? Well, so does Nexat. I feel like we're getting stuck or hung up or something. It's lurching. The header is bending though, so it's flexible. That's good. It's definitely designed to be run one way too. If you look at, I guess no, both the wheels are behind. So never mind. You can run it on either side. It doesn't really matter. And let's get this thing turned around. Does it make a, can you make a 90 with it? Sadly, no. Look at that. So you don't come back where you started, which is another detriment because you're going to have to back it up to get it back on that line. Am I going the right way on the field? No, I went the short way. But once again, this is a small field. However, the funny thing, look how fast we're getting this field done. On this small field, this is really quick. So that is a benefit. So far I'm going to say awkward handling is kind of a hamper. Harvesting length is huge, which is kind of nice because you're going to get stuff done real fast. Really hard to keep it going straight. As you can see there, it's kind of jerking as I'm trying to make it just go slightly turning. It wants to turn more than just a little bit. So you can't really do any finesse turns. It's either heavy turning or none. All right, so I'm gonna get this field done and I'll move over to the next one. I'll be back. So that's pretty quick. Let's turn that off, and I got to figure out, is it, okay, it's that. There's the pipe to unload to a Turk. I'm going to put this over here, and we'll get this unloaded, and we'll eat the next field, so I'll be right back. All right, so we've gotten the Super Bee tandem semi-trailer and truck, which actually handles way better than the Nexat, to load up our crops. It's pretty insane that it did do like almost an entire. Oh, this holds 4 different crops. That's pretty sweet. I didn't know that. All right, so let's hop back in the Nexat and get on down. Get on down. Stop it. Stuck on the. This thing's huge. Okay, so moving on to the next field. Let's see how it does with cannoli. This thing's seriously loud. Sorry about the dogs barking. I don't care anymore. I don't care anymore. I can't care because there's too many of them. Double spreader. Hi, Eliza. I'm sat outside on my patio, which is basically a stone gravel pad for the camper, but it's nice out here. It's a nice cool evening. It's like mid-70s. There's flies everywhere because we have dogs. Let's suction down this field. So that's pretty neat. Now, Kyle mentioned that it's kind of difficult to use with GPS. I'm not having too bad of a time doing it manually, so we'll have to try GPS on one of these fields, but I'm old school. As you guys know, I almost never use the things. Now, I do like the GPS in the game and have enjoyed it a lot, but I don't always use it, especially when harvesting. A lot of times I just eyeball it because I actually like harvesting myself, so I enjoy driving the combine. I'll be back. You know, a map that would work with this is the Agrovision map, or Aggravation or whatever from, what's the name of that? It just came out, Horsch. That map would actually do really well with this harvester because it's like one huge field. So there's a map that would work. I was thinking maybe Oakfield or Chellingham or whatever the farm that he had to rename because the people didn't want them coming to their farm anymore. Calmsden, also now known as Oakfield Farm. That map I was thinking would work, but then because it's England, the roads are super narrow. You'd have no way to get the harvester back and forth, so it would get stuck everywhere you go. So that wouldn't be any fun trying to get that through the roads of Chillingham. No, Calmsden, that's it. So there's not that many maps out right now that this could be. Oh, but any of those big open country maps where you make your own fields, this would actually be a great tool on those kind of maps. So the no man's land type maps is where this is going to really come in handy because you can use this giant piece of equipment to make new fields. Though you'd have to plow them out first using a tractor and a plow because this doesn't have a plow set up. So this can only cultivate. It does not plow. Ew, what is that? Pipe's not very long either. That's kind of weird. Whoops. Whoops. A little bit of turning and throttle equals a lot of motion. Okay, so let's see if we can find some sunflower seeds that are finished or something that we can harvest with the corn header. Some corn. I'll look around the field. I'll be back. All right, we're coming up on our cornfield. Tell you what, this thing was a nightmare to get out here. Not great. The problem is the steering is so delayed and laggy. I don't know. It works, but it's not great. That's cool. Oh, squeakies. But once again, the nice part is that huge swath of land that you're getting in one pass. So it's interesting. But once again, I don't feel there's very many maps that this is going to fit well. But on the ones that it fits well, it seems to do okay. It's I don't know. It's not horrible. But the steering is... Oh, wrong button. I was trying to turn the... There we go. I was trying to turn the beacons off. The steering is horrid. Especially in drive mode. It's really bad. You just constantly bang into things because you let go of the steering wheel, and it takes like 45 seconds for it to straighten out. So, that part kind of sucks. Oops. Stop. Ugh, crap. Uh, it's not pretty. Okay, I'm gonna get this done. I'll be back. This thing's so awkward, it's hard to even get a good camera angle of it for a snapshot. It's just, it's weird. It's wide though, that's for sure. I will say one thing I appreciate about the DLC is the dual motor sound is in stereo is pretty cool because each side of the tractor has a motor. I think it's 1100 total, so it's like 550 a side or something like that. But I could be wrong about that horsepower rating. Anyway, it's a neat sound. So this thing holds like 30,000 liters. That's pretty insane, actually. I don't think any of the other harvesters hold nearly that much. Let me look in the shop real quick at the harvesters. 235, 357, 12,000. Yeah, that holds 20, the New Holland. Class holds 18, 16 on the John Deere, and smaller and smaller. So it by 10,000, it holds more crop. That's pretty insane. I'm just gonna put that out there. That's a lot of crop. So now we're gonna get to the planting side of things and try that out. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna dump this off here. Can it detach? Oh, it can. Look at that. Whoa, I made a mess, but it can detach with no, it's full. So I didn't empty the hopper and it still was able to detach. That's kind of cool. So you can leave it, but you probably still want to empty it out. So I wouldn't do that in real life, but all right, I'm gonna go to the farm and get some implements and we're gonna do some work. I'll be back. Now, since I don't have any cows set up, one thing that we're not gonna do, sadly, is the slurry machine. But once again, you're just going to attach that and then attach the cultivator and put your slurry down. Just like you would any slurry setup. Except for you're going to do it sideways for a nice wide swath, which it's pretty dang wide. So the next thing we're going to do is pick up the seeder. I think this is the side I pick it up from. It looks that way, but it may not be. But I guess we'll find out. Let us see what happens. It's not looking promising, folks. No. Well, I'll be hornswoggled. So I'm going to have to go back to other way. Awkward. Like I said, I'm not sure that there's anyone that I know that's going to love this. There's probably some out there that will. So I feel like it's kind of a pain to work with, if I'm honest. I like it, but it is ridiculously awkward and stupid, and I honestly don't know if I would ever, first of all, have enough money on one of my farms to buy this, but secondly, would want to buy it. It's except for it really depends on the map. Like I said, the map is going to make a big difference. We have a very open. Oh, come on. We have a very open, god dang it, field type map with a lot of space to keep equipment stored outside, or maybe giant awnings rather than a building to try to put these in. I could see that possibly working as a way for me to want to be able to use this. So maybe the Welker map, or I don't know, but it's quirky. But I kind of like quirky, so I don't know. It's an interesting thing. This guy's checking it out. Yep, this is the latest in harvesting technology, my friend. I can definitely see real farmers, especially American farmers, laughing this thing off. I going, huh, that's fancy. And just going back to the regular thing that actually works, tried and true. It's a gadget. It's a real expensive, fancy gadget that if it breaks, where are they going to get support? That's the big thing. And I know that the farmers that have talked about it to friends of mine have said the same thing. Like, well, it's great. Where do we get support? What happens if it breaks? Like, who's going to fix it? So I don't know. I'm hoping that I can put both the seeder and the cultivator on at once. So let's see if that'll work. I don't know which side the seeder goes on. But if the front is if the front is on the right side of this device, which I think it is, then that'll probably go on the front, right? Oh, but see, this is the back of it, isn't it? So I think we're backwards, because that's where it hooks up, and those wheels, the yellow wheels, are what goes last. So we need to hook around this way. We're doing it. We're making it. Making it our way. This is such a weird piece. And the fact that you do have to have the seeder on to use the cultivator. It won't just work. Oh, I'm trying to get close to pick it up and I forgot. You have to go into work mode. Hey, I aim perfectly. Look at that. Ooh, perfect fit. Nope. What? Okay, sorry. What about this? What about this? Nope. And no pants. Okay, well, I guess we'll turn this around. Bring it around town. This way? Nope. There we go. Okay, so that's how that works. All right. I'll move this back here because I want to do the other one first. I'm curious to see if the cultivator fits with the seeder. That's what my real test here is. Nope. Shiitake mushrooms. Okay, there we go. Will this attach to the front? Nope. No. There's no way. So, no, maybe. Did you see the wheels disappear? That's kind of... Okay. So this can cultivate and seed at the same time. That's what I was trying to get at. And so there you have it. And so that's pretty cool. Now, the real trick, though, is does that work with the other device? Let's find out. Hold on one second. All right, so let's see. This is the big test. If this works, it's actually a pretty unique device in that we can cultivate. You can. So you can cultivate and then plant corn or sunflower seeds or anything like that while you're while you're cultivating. I said that already. I said you can cultivate while you cultivate. You can cultivate and plant at the same time, and that is not something that you see often in the planters. So let's go to the planters, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. No, it's a select. There we go. So if I go to the planters, does this one cultivate? Yes, this one will direct seed. This one won't. 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 And this one will. So the Kinsey and the Missouri are the only ones that we have that will cultivate and plant at the same time. Oh, sorghum too. I forgot about sorghum on this one. So that makes it fairly unique. And of course, it's absolutely flirking huge. But this makes both rigs work the same. That way, I guess what I'm getting at is I don't need to show you both because they kind of do the same thing. But basically, it's just different crops. So this is going to be corn, cotton, sorghum, soybean, sunflowers. The other one's going to be for wheat, barley, canola, and all the regular grain crops. But that gives you an idea. So you can do both. And so that's really cool. That makes me like this a little bit better than I first was thinking I was going to like it. So let's see how this thing folds up for road travel. It's going to be probably pretty gnarly. Takes up a lot of space. Let me get to the field. I'm going to put some corn and fertilizer in this, and we can plant and see how it goes. I'll be back. So these are nice. You pull up next to the bag of corn and it'll start filling. I didn't know how much it would take, so I bought, it looks like it takes about 2,000 or maybe 2,500, something like that. I bought 4 bags. You can see it's doing it by itself. I might have bought 6 bags. Okay, well, that's enough seeding for like 30 fields on this map. And let's go ahead and pick up our fertilizer by getting close to the fertilizer traps here. Do you guys realize any idea how long it takes me to make these videos? I sure hope you appreciate this because I'm working my buns off for this. And then like 12 people are going to watch it because my channel's dying. Anyway, keep it alive. Thumbs up, subscribe, and use the little bell so you know when I put videos out. And then, gosh darn it, watch the videos. Wow, this thing is going to hold... I put 4,000 fertilizer in it. That's only 22%. That's going to hold like tens of thousands of fertilizer. Jeez, oh, Pete. All right, I'm going to run to the field. I'll see you in just a minute. I mean, admittedly, this thing does fit in the lanes fairly well, honestly. Now with the headers, it's a little bit different. It hangs out over the lane a bit, and you got to watch because you can snag things as you go along the road. But this cultivator's on there pretty good, and it's tucked in nicely. So we're actually, the wheels are the widest part. It still does hang out a little bit on the right, but it's not horrible. So it's not too bad. All right, so we're coming up to the final corner, our recently cultivated field, or harvested field, yeah. So once again, you can't do any plowing with this harvester slash planter slash whatever it is, but you can do everything else. So Ugh. Just go straight. Jeez, oh Pete. Made it. So it's a pretty unique and I think good device, but once again, I'm not sure that I'll use it. I hopefully will get to a place where I have a farm big enough to use it, but it's one of those DLCs, like I just know from the past DLCs that have come out, whenever they do this monster equipment, I never end up getting to the farm big enough to use it. So, the Homer stuff is a perfect example of that. Unless we cheat money in and start with it, I just don't have the money to do it. So if you're one of those start big guys, or gals, either or, this would be a good DLC for you. But now the other thing you'll notice too is it's doing it on the inside. Let's see how this goes. Oh, and it's going at 11 miles an hour. That's pretty impressive, honestly. Oh, and I should probably turn the GPS to see how that works, but I haven't. I'm doing this by eyesight. GPS would probably do a better job of this. But the seeder will work the same as the planter, so I don't need to demonstrate the seeder for you. It's going to do the same thing. So now just be aware that to do the weeding, you're going to have that seed bank on. So those big yellow seed tanks that I have on there first, those are going to have to go on for seeding. Now for the fertilizer, the sprayer, you don't. And if I were to do this without the planting, I could do just cultivation. I don't know why you'd want to do that, because if you can plant the crop while you're doing it, just plant the crop. It's faster. I'm just going to do a line or two of this. I'm not going to do the whole field. I've noticed too that there's a lot of wheel spin on this mod, which I think that's accidental. I don't think it's supposed to do that, but maybe. But yeah, this is cool. And it's getting a lot of the field planted. Now you're paying a lot of money to do it though. But once again, my other concern is the way that with this device, the way that the game handles wear and tear on your vehicles, you're going to be putting a lot of hours on this machine. Especially you got big fields. And so I think within a couple years of use, it's going to be at like 100 hours or more, and you're going to be dropping thousands of dollars every time you use it. So that also becomes somewhat of a concern, just not because in real life it would be an issue, but in the game punishes you for keeping tractors for more than like 40 or 50 hours. So there's a concern there that because of the way this thing operates, it's going to be a maintenance nightmare once it starts getting a little bit older. So just keep that in mind when you're looking at this to purchase. So from a DLC standpoint, now this is where GPS would help. I'm not overlapping. I am overlapping, and I've wasted space. Is this worth it? This is the first DLC in a long time that I've come across where I don't feel like, would I spend my money on it? I probably still would buy it because I like to get everything. I'm a collector, so I like to have everything. But I think from a real in-game usage thing, I don't know, man. Like if I'm looking at it from a practical standpoint, I would never use this because, like I said, my farms just never get big enough. You guys get bored and I stop getting viewers, so I move on to another farm to start the views up again. And I just don't see this, being beneficial to what I do. Now, some of you might have some, like use for that, but I just don't see it for my channel. So All right, so we're going to go ahead and pass the day and see what happens on the part that we've seeded, and we'll try to use the weeder and the sprayer. So I'll be back. All right, so we got this fertilizer on the road, and I'm going to be bringing a weeder behind us using two different Nexats because it's just taking so long to get all of it done. I don't want to make like 10 trips back and forth, so I'm just making 10 trips or 5 trips forth. But we'll get this thing in action and see it spray just one section of the field so you guys can see it. It was a pain in the butt to get this thing attached. Now, the sprayer nozzles go to the front of the unit rather than the back side like most sprayers. No, I guess, honestly, on the New Hollands and stuff, they're up front too, aren't they? So, yeah, so you connect it with the green stuff to the right of the Nexat. It looks a little awkward, and you have to kind of squeeze it underneath it, and it will get caught if you don't do it perfectly. But it does go on fairly easily. I just kind of ran my way underneath it and got it working. It wasn't pretty. But I'm going to take this up to the field, so I'll be back. I just wanted you to see what this looks like on the road. And it's even a little bit narrower than our cultivator setup. So, all right, so we're going to unfold this. Oh, no, not yet, not yet, not yet. Dang it. Always get into position first. And this will actually help us. We can unfold this separately by selecting it. So look, I can get into position for the perfect spray. And like Kyle said, you're probably going to have to fold this thing up every freaking time. Because look, you're not going to be able to turn this. There's no way. And then we're going to go into work mode. So that raises up. No. That's not raising up. There we go. This raises up and makes the wheels. And makes the wheels. And man, this is a... Jeez, oh Pete. But you can spray your entire field in 2 passes. And they were spraying. You can see there. Oh, look at that. I mean, that's pretty cool, if you ask me. But the caveat is that you're going to have to, like I said, you're going to have to do some serious like maneuvering at the end of the field. Probably including, well, running over your crop or folding it up and then driving around the outside. And then, though I wonder, let's try something here. Just for poops and giggles. Okay, so here we go. And I'm going to fold this up. Just this part. And you probably should do it off the field if you're going to do it so you're not killing your field. I mean, okay, but the real question then becomes, can we do... So we're going to unfold it. We're going to fold it back up again. Is there a way to reverse steer this? Enable turn on sprayer, change work with, enable transport mode, toggle map view, toggle move cabin. Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. Toggle steering mode. What is this? All-wheel steering, front-wheel steering, rear-wheel steering, all-wheel steering. I think that's what we were on. Yeah, all right. So let me see something. Oh, wrong button. Going for it. Nope. So you have to hold the brake down. And steering is backwards. But it does travel at the same speed. So if I look this way, is it still... Yeah, the steering's reversed. That's the only difficult part about doing it this way. And you can see the field is getting compacted where we drive. It's kind of cool, actually. So that worked. You can actually go in reverse, but now that won't work with GPS. Because GPS it'll click off as soon as you start going backwards. So that kind of sucks. But it can do it. And so... We found a way to kind of cheat the system a little bit without having to turn around on the field. Um, but it is backward steering, and you have to hold the reverse down instead of forward. But still, I wanted to see if we could do it, and we did. So there you go. Last but not least, we have the seed pack already loaded on this one, and I'm going to try to pick this. I don't know which side we got to pick this up from. Oh, it's showing it. Look at this. What is that? Yeah. Oh. I haven't seen that before. That's kind of interesting. I wonder why I didn't do that on any of the other devices. But I think we were doing it correctly. Yeah. Move cabin. Nope, shiitake mushrooms. It's not close enough. There, we got it. Okay, yep. So that's just how it does it. Just like you thought it would. And nope, back into work mode. We need to get this thing turned so I can actually get into steering mode. There we go. And let's try the different. What do we have for steering modes once we do this? Change tank partitioning. What? Oh, you can. Oh, look at that. You can change the tank partitions so that tempo or inspire. You pick it for the different. Just didn't know that was going on. You can pick which spreader you're using, or whether it's the planter or the seeder, not spreader, planting device. You can pick either the temper or the inspire. That's pretty cool. All right. Anyway. Let's head on out to the field and try the weeder, and that'll be it for our demo for the night. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. I put a lot of work and effort into these, and we definitely have expenses that go along with running the YouTube channel to the tune of about $300 to $350 a month, plus all the time that goes into it. If you like what I do, please buy me a coffee. It really does help us out a lot, and it goes to pay the bills and stuff and keep the channel going. Makes it worth the time that I spend doing it. So you can see the link down there at the bottom left hand of the screen. The link will also be in the description, so if you'd like to support us financially, it does help us a lot. You guys have been great this year, and we've gotten a decent amount of support, and we ask that you continue to do so. Thank you guys so much, and I'm going to head out to the field. I'll see you in just a second. All right, so I got too many of these on the field now. They're all in the way, but I'm going to try this weeder out. It's a weeder, dude. And we're going to put it down just here on the growing weeds. Now, once again, I didn't try this with GPS. I probably should have, and I apologize for that. Let's see if we can kick it on here. Steering assisted. Nope. And 1 lap. They don't need 3 laps. There we go. 1 lap. And okay. Okay. I'm just going to follow the line and see how it does. Oh, and we get tangled first, though. The thing is so close. All right, so we're going to put this down on the ground. Oh, and it's just weeding. Yep, that's it. And so it just does it very nicely, pulls all the weeds. Now, you would do that obviously over a crop, but it's the same difference. Hopefully it would happen during the early stages so your big wheels don't kill the crops. I would imagine when you're using this device, there will be times when you actually have tram lines because you're going to be running over the crop. And that's okay. That's just how this thing works. In fact, if you look at the pictures and the advertising, you can see where the wheels have run over and killed crops. So it's going to happen with this. That's how they designed it. So yeah, once again, is it worth it? I'm going to have to let that be up to you. I personally... once again, I would still buy it because I might find a use for it at some point, in one of my games. But I would say the likelihood of me using this is fairly low. It's not like a tractor pack or like the self-propelled baler where it's kind of expensive, but you can get it if you save up for it. This is like millions of dollars. So you have to have a very big, very successful farm for this to be any value to you. And my farms never seem to get that big. So I don't know. Like for me, I would say no, probably it's not worth it. So you have to kind of ask yourself that. Plus, you know, once again, the things that I pointed out even in the first video, the quirky handling, the strange driving modes, it's a very awkward unit, especially on the road. It's a nightmare to get from one place to another. I can't imagine some of these cramped European maps, like just how difficult this thing is going to be to get to different locations. It's not really good at doing that. So so you have to think about that if you're gonna pick this up. Like it is clunky. It's not a smooth working DLC. I think it's probably realistic to the real unit is probably also pretty clunky to use. So, but it does work, and it is huge. So once again, a field like this, you're looking at like 6 passes on a big field like this. That's almost nothing. But the other thing that I brought up is that the usage is going to be really high on this device because you're using it for everything. So you are probably going to have to, you know, the maintenance is going to get expensive pretty quickly. So those are my thoughts on this device. And I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Once again, I will see you guys next time. And we will definitely be covering more of this kind of stuff and making more tutorials. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video tonight. Have a great night. Be sure to subscribe. Thumbs up always help. And we will see you next time on Farm Simulator 25. Make sure you click the little bell when you subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.